Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see in and around my grid. If you are going to do a bit of business, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is going to be a little bit of everything, VT. Your post-match analysis for yesterday's very good win against Brentford at the Den, and we look ahead to New Year's Day. Is that one day away or is that two? I think it's two. Because Christmas just scrambles your brain, doesn't it? You never know what day is which. But I'll cover both those games in this video. Let's start out with yesterday's win at the Den against our London rivals, Brentford. And what a performance it was yesterday. What a hard-fought, gritty, dogged performance. It was our first win at home since obviously we beat the Anoraks on the 9th of November. And the win leaves us in 11th place, only 3 points behind 4th placed Brentford. Where do we start? It was a game I wasn't sure we was going to win. Well, I predicted a 2-2 draw, and I would have been well happy with a point, if I'm honest. A lot of people are saying that Brentford didn't play well, and I think that's doing our team a disjustice. I don't think we give them any opportunity to settle on the ball or to play. We was on them from the first whistle until the last. As Anthony, or the young Tony Pulis, as I like to call him, said in his post-match analysis, we was brilliant. We was brilliant from start to finish. We really, really was. Two slightly different performances from the first half to the second. But listen, you can't be as intense and as direct and as exciting football-wise, which is a very nice thing to say as a Millwall fan, all through the 90 minutes. And as I said, the first half was one display. The second half was a slightly different display, but both equally as exciting and good to watch as a Millwall fan. The starting 11... I'm not going to say I've called it because I didn't call it, but Murray Wallace came back in. And again, for people who are saying Murray Wallace, isn't doing well when we need a left back, I don't know what you're watching, because I think Murray Wallace does very, very well at left back. And it was unfortunate to not get on a score sheet yesterday. The other change, and there's one I missed. I didn't want John Daly Bavasa to start, and I said Scalak should have started. I've overlooked AOB. I don't know if he was injured against Cardiff, but I don't think he was in the squad. Maybe that was illness. I don't know what that was. But Aidan O'Brien has now, obviously, after scoring a winner yesterday, has scored 3 goals in his last 3 home games. And the thing is, I've always liked Aidan. I've always supported Aidan. He's been around the club a long time. He's definitely a Millwall player and a Millwall clubsman, without an absolute doubt. He does some brilliant work in and around Millwall, not just on the pitch, but off it. But I've always said, and I think a lot of us will agree, I'm not sure what his best position is. I'm not sure whether it's striker or whether it's left midfield. If I had a choice of the two, I'd play him left midfield. But what we've now seemed to have found under this new formation that Gary Rowett plays is a perfect niche for AOB, because the one up front, or the 3 up front, as whatever you like to call it, I like to think it's 2 just behind the 1. So they're not midfielders, but they're not strikers. And I think it's perfect for AOB. And I think, he's worked very hard and kept his head down and may have found it tough at times to not get in this season. But now I think he warrants his starting place. And again, for those who say he doesn't do a lot, I would say, along with Jason Malumbi, was our best player in that first half yesterday, without an absolute doubt. He's good on the ball. He does at times look a little bit lackadaisical, if you like. But I thought he was brilliant yesterday. And I think he well deserves and warrants a starting place in the side for Luton on New Year's Day. But listen, let's get into the game. We started like a house on fire. We score a goal, which is disallowed. Obviously, from where I sit in the kitchen, our 2 players went across, and I wasn't sure if it was Cooper that headed it in. It was, in fact, the Mountain Murray Wallace that headed it in, which would have been his first goal of the season, and I think probably his first since Wimbledon in the FA Cup last season. It gets disallowed for offside. Now, Murray Wallace isn't offside. Jake Cooper is offside. Is he interfering with play? I think you've got to say, it's debatable. Yes, there is no VAR in the Championship, thank fuck. But I would say that he probably, as he comes across and sort of blocks a defender off, he's going for the ball. He doesn't intentionally block the defender off. He also goes for the ball, but Murray Wallace beats into it. He doesn't touch the ball, but in a way, I suppose you could interpret that he is interfering with play. And as a result, the goal's disallowed. And you start to think, is it going to be one of those days? But the players didn't let that deter them from their brilliant start, and we just kept on plugging. We was brilliant on the overlap. Jeb Wallace and Marlon superb down the right. Very exciting to watch down the right, those two, when we're coming forward. Full of ideas, full of inventiveness, and we get the breakthrough. Jason Malumbi, and he is a Millwall player. Maybe I don't give him enough praise. Some people dig me out. Some people dig me out for anything. But some people dig me out because they're saying I don't give him enough praise. And again, him and Williams were brilliant yesterday. Williams, 30-odd years old, for the amount of games he's managed to get in, and full games as well under his belt. Those two sitting as just a central midfield two on their own. They're both doing brilliantly. And Jason Malumbi has just got that Millwall-ness about him, hasn't he? He's just got that dogged, rugged, desire to want to just chase balls down, just chase down lost causes. And it looked like a lost cause. As we know, Brentford are a team that likes to pop it around the back. And it looked like a lost cause. Left back to central defender. I think central defender's a goalkeeper. And Jason Malumbi, as we know, the way to win your way into Millwall fans' hearts is just to chase down balls and lost causes and fly into tackles. That will get as big a cheer as a goal, down the den. We've known that for years. But in this case, it creates a goal. And he closes down the keeper. The keeper goes to clear it long. He finally realises, Malumbi's breathing down his neck, chomping at the bit. And as he goes to clear it, Malumbi throws himself in front of it, blocks it, and we get a little bit of fortune. It dribbles to AOB, who still had work to do, by the way. The goalkeeper there closing him down, Malumbi on the floor in and around it. But AOB shows his composure, does exactly what he says on the tin, the onion bag, and he finishes it off well. The Brentford defender coming back across the goal, if you watch the replay, I'd be a little bit pissed off if I was a Millwall, if it was a Millwall defender. He made no attempts, and I think if he had slid, he might have half a chance of keeping the ball out. But thankfully for us, he doesn't, and we get the goal. And after that, we just continue to press. Brentford didn't have a kick, did not have one single kick. And the very short passages of interchanging they managed to put together in and around the halfway line, it was just testament to us, because we just on them on their first touch, didn't let them settle on the ball, we kept winning the ball back off them, and then creating chances for ourselves. And that's good to watch. Listen, make no mistake, Brentford are one of the best footballing sides in this division, but sometimes sheer determination and drive can turn the key for you in that situation, and that's exactly what happened. But listen, let's not do us a disjustice. We played some brilliant football as well, created a lot of chances. Sean Williams has a shot that deflects just over the bar. I think we had a few corners slung into the box, and not a criticism, but as we're going at half time, the only thing I was thinking was, and talking to people around me, one goal's not going to be enough. We need more than one goal here. We definitely need more than one goal, because they will come back into the fray. Just before we move into the second half, it's got to be said, Bart Bulkowski again, as I keep saying, makes an absolute wonder save. A shot from, I think it was from Ollie Watkins, left-footed. I don't know whether Bart's going the wrong way or he misreads it, or it swerves. The balls can do that these days. He's going the wrong way, and then he just dives back the other way and throws his head. He's past him. It's a brilliant save from Bulkowski, and again, we must hopefully in the January sales might get a discount from Ipswich and try and sign him up to a long-term permanent contract. I wasn't oversold on Bulkowski when he first come. I make no bones about that. His showreel didn't bowl me over, and Bart, you need a new editor, by the way, and I'm going to make you a nice new showreel from all your brilliant saves you've made for us in January, mate, as a little thank you, because I wasn't sure about him, but he has not proved me wrong. He showed me what he's all about, and he's a fantastic goalkeeper. As Kieran rightly said, in his post-match interview, all the shit we've had with goalkeepers over the last couple of 3 years, I won't go on about it, but my God, Bulkowski was there, and that is exactly what you expect from your goalkeeper. He's a brilliant goalkeeper, and he just fills me with confidence. I don't shit myself, when the ball's going towards him last 5 minutes of the game. He does fill me with confidence, and hopefully the big man will sign up to a permanent deal with us in January. As I said, the second half, we started the better side. After about an hour, they snuck back into it, and then we again got back on top and had the better of it. Substitutions were made. The second half wasn't a brilliant, attacking performance. We didn't put together lots of brilliant chances or opportunities. But again, it impressed me just as much as the first, because we just pressed them, we just battled, we just dug in, we defended well, and we did everything that we needed to do to get the game over the line. Again, small criticism, I don't want to dig the same people out, but I am. When the substitutions came on, Fergie and Budvarsson, they looked like they'd already been playing for about an hour. They didn't have the full intent that the other players, I thought, did. They didn't look like they was full of running like they should have been. And I thought that's why Rao obviously brought them on for more legs. But listen, the starting 11 were absolutely fantastic. And you can't knock it again. Gary Rao makes substitutions. And as Kenny said in his fan cam, he always makes different substitutions. You won't really see him make the same substitution, the second game in a row. I thought Matt Smith was destined to come on, you see. He didn't. Went with Bavarsson, went with Fergie. And then later on, Scallack comes on for Jed, who was completely out of legs. And it's good to see, a variety of players being used, a variety of formations being used, and substitutions at different times in the game, in different areas of the pitch. It keeps the other teams guessing, and Rowett's game management is absolutely second to none. You've got to take your hat off to the gaffer for that. You've got to take the team off. You've got to take your hat off to the team for that. And we get the game over the line. Brentford obviously pressed late on, and as we know, at the game at Griffin Park earlier in the season, they come back and scored three from the 85th minute onwards. I think they only had one half chance late in the game. That was a shot that really should have done a lot better with, should have hit the target. But fortunately for us, you know, if you're not in and around goal a lot during the game, you're not firing on all cylinders, that chance you get towards the end of the game, he was probably cold. He probably wasn't, you know, wasn't prepared for it. They haven't had a lot going on in and around our box. The centre-halves yesterday, the goalkeeper was brilliant. The centre-halves, all three of them were superb. The central midfielders, both of them were superb. They was all superb. You couldn't really pick a man of the match out of that lot. If you had to, and I was pressed to give you two names, not one, I'd give you Aidan O'Brien and Malumbi. I thought O'Brien was outstanding in the first half, along with Malumbi. But I'll probably say, obviously, Aidan did die out a little bit. Probably fitness played a part in that, obviously. He hasn't had a lot of 90 minutes under his belt. And I would obviously give it to probably Jason Malumbi then, in that instance. But again, listen, you couldn't fault any one of them. The management, the crowd, once again, and this is why we love the club. And we move on to New Year's Day. Nearly couldn't say that. New Year's Day, we face Luton at the Den. Managed by Graham Jones, Luton currently sit 23rd in the division. They haven't done bad this season, in my opinion. They score a lot of goals at times. They have a good goal. They're an attacking side. And obviously, we drew 1-1 there earlier on in the season, which was Neil Harris's final game in charge of the club. They're 23rd, yes, but they are punching, really. And that's no disrespect to Luton. I mean that in the nicest possible way. You've only got to go to their ground, see what that's about, their club structure. When I was a kid, they was up in the top division, and I'll never forget they played Oxford, and they either won 7-4 or lost 7-4, and I couldn't believe the amount of goals in the game. I think Mark Steen played for them at that point. That's when they had the plastic pitch, so I'm delving back into the early 80s there, but my point is, they was a top side at one point. After that, they was in free fall. They actually went out the league, didn't they, at one point, and then they've clawed their way back in to get back into the Championship, but unsurprisingly, they are finding it hard work in this division. They currently sit, as I said, 23rd in the table, and they have lost 4 of their last 5 games. Last time out, losing 3-0 at Ashton Gate to Bristol City. Again, a massive club in comparison. So they'll come to town, not very confident, not far to come on New Year's Day, so they might bring half a decent crowd with them. Will they be confident? I don't think they will be. I'm hoping they won't be, and I don't think they should be. A danger man for them, I don't know. I haven't looked. So let's just say Ryan Tunnicliffe, ex-Lion, returning to the Den, and I'm sure he'll get a good reception. You know, I wasn't his biggest fan as a player, but you couldn't argue that he didn't put a shift in for us, so I'm sure we will welcome back Sir Ryan of Tunnicliffe with open arms. Let's get on to the Predictionio. And I'm going to go for a 3-1 Millwall win with Jeb Wallace, Jake Cooper and Aidan O'Brien to continue his rich goal-scoring vein of form. If I said that the right way round, fuck knows. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. I can't see anything else other than a win. And as we all know, yes, we lost to Barmondsey, are also one place above Luton, and against the big sides we turn up, against the lower sides we do struggle, and with the game being televised live on Sky, I think we're the main game on Sky actually, so that will affect the crowd obviously, and it's easy for me to say everyone needs to get down the Den, but I understand Christmas is a very expensive time. I've just checked my bank balance unfortunately. Yeah, so I understand that if you haven't got a season ticket, it could be hard work to get down the Den, and it is very easy and very comfortable on your own sofa, isn't it? With the heating on, a couple of beers in the fridge. I've done it recently myself a couple of times, and unsurprisingly took a bit of shit for it. But yeah, listen, I'll be there. I'll be at the ground. I'll be hopefully trying to get some majority of games in this new year. I'll definitely be going Stoke away as well. So it's easy for me to say, as I said, get down the Den. I understand it's expensive, and if you can't, just make sure you're screaming from behind that sofa, and make sure you piss your old woman clean off whilst you're doing it and ruin her day. I can't see anything other than a Millwall win. That's what I'm going for. 3-1 to the Lions. There may or may not be some fan score predictions going out as well from the other boys at Lions TV. If I can get that video out today or tomorrow, I will stick that one out, and I am striving to get more Lions lounges in for the new year. That is my New Year's resolution. So if anyone knows some ex-Millwall players, I've done about 20 or 30 now, but I'm still looking. I'm going to sit down, as I did when I first started the channel, with a pen and paper and try and work out and pinpoint and tie down a few players for some Lions lounges, because I do enjoy doing them, and that's what sets me aside from the rest. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you at the Den New Year's Day. 12:45 kickoff, don't forget. And if you can't make it, it's live on Sky, unfortunately. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.